What's up guys, I'm Improv and this is my Ironman. I have no special restrictions and just plan to play the game my own way and show that even if you don't have all day to play, you can still achieve great things. This is Casually Maxing.
Alright, today I think we're going to focus on doing some quests. We only have 7 left. Obviously there's a couple in here that are super easy to do, but it is basically just the longer ones that are left, so we're going to try to knock these out today, or at least over this weekend.
Alright, the first quest we decided to start with is Dragon Slayer 2. So we started off fighting Robert the Strong, and let me tell you, he was very strong indeed. Very.
Dude, that guy was so hard to kill. Holy.
The next boss we had to kill was Vorkath, which I've never actually done Vorkath. I've only seen it done in like streams and like some videos I've watched, so I only understand like the bare minimum mechanics. So going into it blind was a little rough, I won't lie. And honestly, learning something like this is pretty overwhelming. I mean, there's a lot to look at, but I like showing you guys these things because I am no pro, and you don't have to be a pro either. It's all about learning. As you can see, the first kill didn't go that well. And as you know, we aren't quitters here. Not in my clan, no quitters. We will grind day and night. Only one piece of content until we get it completed. So I came back and went ahead and defeated Vorkath. The second time around, once I kind of understood what was going on, I pretty much easily got it. So I am hoping to start grinding this at some point, but I don't know when. This is such a good design. This looks so sick. This is my first time doing this quest. This looks awesome. This whole area looks cool. Well done. Very well done. Akietes is a tank. Is that just steel armor? This Iron Dragon can't hit a thing. Was pretty much breezing through this quest up until, well, yeah. Okay, I stopped paying attention for half a second. Jesus. This time we came back. We already read up on the mechanics, so we knew what to expect. And yeah, I'm trolling. Wow. Nothing hurts. Oh my god. Wait. I can't believe we did it with like no health there. That was too close. Oh my gosh. Oh great. Dragon Slayer 3 when? There we go. We completed Dragon Slayer 2. We got our quest points, a ton of smithing XP, mining, agility, thieving XP. One step closer to our quest cape and 74 smithing. Let's go. One of the next quests I decided to start was Fremnica Exiles, which, as you can see, they got overrun by basilisks, so we pretty much had to go and save them because they're just working with like black warhammers and subpar gear. This quest was definitely significantly easier than Dragon Slayer 2. But I also just wanted to comment on this boss. This boss just looks very cool. I really like the aesthetic of it. There we go. There's Fremen Exiles completed. Slayer crafting and rune crafting XP. Not bad. Only a few more quests to go. Of course, Rag and Bone Man 2 was one of the quests I left for, like, one of the last ones to do. It is just very annoying. I mean, this process here is what is the most annoying part. Getting pots, and then filling the pots with the vinegar, and then putting all the bones in the pots. Not to mention gathering all of the bones, which I needed 27 or 26 or something. I don't know. It's just, it's such a dumb quest, but we had to do it. Finally. Man, this quest is so long for no reason. There we go. We made our first Ceridome Bruise on the account. We've come a long way. The next quest I decided to tackle was A Night at the Theater, which had a lot of setup, but once you get into the theater, it's basically just doing a TOB, Theater of Blood, by myself. You don't have to do the entry solo, but I figured I would try it solo. Now, this boss here, the first phase of this is crazy because there's a bunch of like little spiders that come out and you can only attack them with specific styles. So I thought that I was gonna fail here, and if this wasn't an entry mode, I might have failed. Because I feel like I got super overrun. I lost one pillar. It was like a whole thing. But once you get to this part here and you're just fighting him just straight up like this, it's actually not bad at all. Very, very easy. This guy here, the Dark Beast, the Corrupted Dark Beast, or whatever it is, was also pretty easy. Basically, you just had to make sure you looked out for his attacks and prayed accordingly. And then for the entry mode, when he turns you to the other phase, you can just walk across the path. Super, super easy. You just stay on the path. I mean, this was a very, very easy boss. This guy here, the gargoyle, I just ranged it with the bofa, and it was super super easy. I don't know what strat people normally use, and then I think for this last phase here, basically you don't attack it when he's looking in your quadrant, but he never looked over at me, so I just basically kept attacking him, and it was very very easy. So yeah, I'm not sure how this is meant to be played out, but again, it worked out great for me. Now, this final boss, it should have been super easy. Especially for the gear and everything I had with the Bofa. What made it nearly impossible was the fact that so you see that purple crab up there? It heals the boss. You want to know why I'm not killing it? Because it takes reduced damage when you hit it with anything other than stuff that has poison. I didn't bring a single poison weapon. So I almost made it to the entire end of this raid and had to restart. Oh my god, I think I did it. Oh, that was so close. I didn't bring a poison weapon and I did it on first attempt, but wow, that was close. Holy. Nice, we did it. Not too bad, not too bad. That was actually quicker than like Rag and Bone Man 2, a couple other quests, so that's sick. And here comes the last long quest of the account, Desert Treasure 2. If anybody actually struggles with this part of the quest, I basically just put up barricades and then ranged over the barricades, and it ended up being pretty good. I think for the things that came into the south, I would just freeze them, and it would be fine. I did try the detonator a couple times, but I don't know that that's necessarily worth doing. I think you can hurt yourself, and I know you can hurt Cassandre, so the first DT2 boss we ended up having to fight was Vardorvis, and honestly, the fight's not too bad. I did have to tally out like once or twice just because it is a lot to pay attention to when you're looking at the flying axes. That was the part that gave me a lot of trouble, was the flying axes. And then praying in time for that little plant that comes up. But it's mostly the axes and realizing how they're going to path. Once you have that down, at least for the quest, once you have that down, it's very easy. Now, for Cassandre, when I was fighting him at first, I was using melee, and that seemed pretty awful because dodging everything when you were in melee range was a pain, and he would switch between like a melee attack and a ranged attack, I'm pretty sure. So I just played range, used melee, or used range, and ran around. It made it a lot easier to dodge that like stomp attack as well because I was already like on the move towards the pillars. All right, the next boss up was the Leviathan, which is basically like that little worm guy, right? So going into the fight, I was pretty confident. I was like, okay, pray range, pray mage, easy, dodge the falling rocks. We're good to go there, very easy. I'm like, wow, he's speeding up. Okay, I can keep up with this speed. We're good. We are chilling. This speed still isn't too much. And then I know when he does like his other special attack, I got to get behind the rocks, right? And then he started going into overdrive, and I was like, yo, This guy's crazy. Why is he hitting so fast? I can't really keep up with this. He's hitting me pretty hard. Who can do this? So then I came back and I realized when he starts speeding up to a point that maybe you can't handle, you're supposed to hit him with a little shadow spell. It freezes him. You run all the way around him. See, watch this. Watch. Let me show you. Let me show you. Freeze him with the shadow spell. He's like, yo, I can't see a thing. What's going on? You attack him in the spine. Boom. Basically resets how fast he shoots. And then he does basically a special attack. Yeah, once I figured that out, it basically was smooth sailing the rest of the way. I did almost die to those electric shocks because I didn't quite get the timing down. But beyond that, like it was pretty chill, honestly. It's just when he ramped up the first time, I got super scared. Okay, once you know how to get away from that, like barraging or rapid fire attacks, you're good to go. I should have watched a video on this at first. Holy. So the next boss up in this deadly quest was Duke Sucellus. I don't know how to say his name, but he's an interesting one. He's an interesting one. So here I was sidestepping everything, boom, 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 and guess what? Over here, apparently, it's not behind the pillar. I walked too far away. Huh. Yeah. So we made our way back to the boss here and did the little setup, woke him up, and again, we went back to flinching. So this time I realized basically if you are directly behind that pillar, you are good. You're not going to get hit with the mage attack, you're not going to get hit with the gaze attack. So all you have to worry about when you're flinching here is get on rhythm so that you're out flinching the stomps, and then when he throws down the little smoke coming up from the vents, you move to the other side. It's that simple. I mean, it's very, very easy. The gaze hits like 90s or something. I think in higher modes, it just one hits you. So it's a little bit of a pain there. And then the mage attack, again, is just very, very strong. Hits very high. So this is definitely the best way to do it, but it was very easy. The next boss up was the Whisperer. Now, this boss honestly wasn't too bad to understand. Basically, the blue attacks were mage, the other attacks, the purple ones, were range, and then you just sidestep the mechanics on the tentacles. So, very, very simple to understand. Um, for some reason, like the diagonals was easy. I could not fathom or grasp the cross ones. I kept walking straight into one, but for the most part, the mechanics were not bad. Oh yeah, I'm just dead. As you can see here, I started to panic a little bit. Everything started to get a little bit quicker. So there was a lot to focus on, and this was still my first attempt. So the Whisper was definitely the hardest of all the bosses, and as you can see here, we did make it to the final phase. Alright, after dying twice, we decided to come back, of course, because we needed to get this quest done. So we made it to the final phase here again. Now, I will say, one thing that I learned here that made this a lot easier is it will always attack with two of the same attacks. So I don't have to flick. So see right there, mage, mage, range, range. So I didn't even have to panic when it came to that. I just had to keep moving because of the tentacles. One other thing, one thing that was messing me up a lot is I'm not used to the brew mechanic yet. So doing this much like micromanaging of moving, flicking, and then brewing, and then restoring, I think it was just a little too much for me. So when I switched back to having just regular food and I learned the mechanics a little bit more, it made killing Whisper very, very easy. Well, that was very, very, very sloppy, but we did it. You know what I mean? We did it. This was definitely the hardest boss to do. I mean, there's a few little things that you can do to help, but like this was the hardest boss in this entire quest, in my opinion. It's just a lot to pay attention to, you know? Yeah, you would think that the bosses were over, but the quest is still going, actually. This fight was pretty easy. Basically, you just praise what you're attacking with, and then you switch, and you just dodge his big magical purple ball. So it wasn't too bad, but he does do a lot of damage through prayer. Now, I could have been praying wrong, but I don't know. It worked out in the end. Summoned the Barrows Brothers? Wait, that's sick. He summoned the Barrows Brothers to fight. That's awesome. Now, this fight here, I did end up having to bank once. But after that, it was very easy. Just came back and got a new set of food and figured out exactly how I wanted to fight these four. Basically, you fight four bosses and you have to fight them in order. There is no way to like leave after each one. So I basically just ran around, dodged the leeches, destroyed the portals when I could, and honestly, both of them made this very, very easy. Yeah, well, that was a close one. I didn't bring a stamina, and I really should have. There we go. Desert Treasure 2 is completed. And we got the Ring of Shadows, which is actually pretty sick. Melee strength bonus, prayer bonus, attack bonuses. Super cool. Plus, we only got 2 more quests to do. Olaf's Quest and the Corsair Curse. I haven't done Olaf's Quest in years. Like, I don't even remember doing this. All I remember is this area with the rats that you can get the Brine Saber, but I don't remember any of this other stuff at all. Like, it's actually been many years since I've done this quest. Being level 100, he needs to work on his HP. There we go. Olaf's quest completed. Low-key, lighting somebody's house on fire is a little insane, no? Like, yo, I can prove you're well, so I light his house on fire? That's crazy. There we go. Corsair Curse is completed. That is all quests completed. We did it. There it is. There it is. We finally got it. I've never had a quest cape. Ever. Ever. Look at it. Oh my. It's so sick. It's so sick. I've never ever had one. Let's see it. Where's it at? Here. Skill cape. Oh my. Big shout out to the clan chat for all the congrats and everything we're getting. Appreciate you guys being along for the ride. We finally got it all done, which means we're not locked behind any quests for any sort of content. It's essentially just levels and whatnot now. So a lot to do in the future. A lot to do. Thank you guys for being along for the ride. That's going to be it for this video. But I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.